Hey guys, it's Kevin again. This is my review for Pretty Little Liars, Season 5, Episode 6, Run, Allie, Run. And I was really looking forward to this episode ever since that amazing cliffhanger last week, which, oh my god, I still love that cliffhanger. Like, really, that was such a great cliffhanger. And I was really looking forward to this episode because, as we know, A is back, and I was really looking forward to seeing how this episode, would pick up for that. And how was this episode? This episode was really good. It was not as good as last week's. It was not the best episode of the season. But you know what? That's personally fine because it was still a really good episode. It was a solid episode. It wasn't, as good as last week's episode. But you know what? Honestly, this season has been perfect. And there's really been no problems. And that's fine. I'm not going to love every single episode. And I did really enjoy this episode. I didn't love it, but I really enjoyed it. So yeah, I definitely did enjoy this episode, and I did enjoy it. There was a lot of stuff that happened in this episode that I really enjoyed, and, so let's just get to it. So, right away, we pick up from where the last one left off, Spencer, Emily, Aria, Toby's house just burnt down, and Spencer, Emily, Aria, Hanna, and Allison, they head to Emily's room and try to figure out who the new A is. Now, Emily's in denial. She thinks that Shauna was A. And, she thinks Shauna was A. Aria is actually smart in this episode. Aria actually agrees with me, because Aria says it's Mona, and that makes perfect sense, because here's the thing. We don't see Mona in this episode. It makes perfect sense if she is A. So, because we don't see her in the episode, and a lot of times when it's A, we don't really see them a lot. So Spencer thinks whoever A is has been watching them, and waiting to strike again, and, so that definitely is very interesting. Now, then Hanna heads to the cafe, and she sees Caleb. He shows her the newspaper, and the police ruled that Toby's house was caused by a natural gas leak, and he thinks the Rosewood police should be riding around in clown cars because they were idiots. And Caleb warns Hanna to go tell the police that A was actually responsible for the explosion/fire, and Hanna refuses, and Caleb reveals he isn't sticking around in Rosewood. He's going to, Montecito to stay with his mom. I think personally, Caleb, really likes, one of two things could be going on here. Either Caleb wants to get back with, Hanna, which I think he does, or, he's kind of upset at what happened with Miranda. I don't know, we'll have to see, but it's definitely one of those two things that's going on with him. Now, Ezra, in the meantime, he is in full detective mode. He's reading through all of his files from when he was writing the book about Allie, and he's convinced that that A killed Bethany Young and Mrs. DeLaurentis at the same time. And basically, he tells Aria that he could have sworn that when he was interviewing people from Allie, someone mentioned Bethany Young, and Aria promises to help him look through his notes after school. And Spencer's dad then catches her at the house grabbing some books, and he wants to know why his wife and daughter are living in a motel, because if you guys remember, Spencer and her mom are planning to leave Rosewood. Spencer's mom told her that they're leaving Rosewood, and Spencer tells him that they know that he lied, and he and Melissa weren't at the diner, they said that they were, and, Spencer, I was happy that Spencer told him the honest truth of why they were doing that. So, Spencer rushes to school and tells Aria that her dad said he drove to the lake with Melissa to talk, and Ezra calls Aria's phone, and Spencer flips on her because she shouldn't be sleeping with someone who deceived her for 2 years, and I get Spencer's point here. I mean, here's the thing. If Ezra really, here's the thing. Think of what happened in Free Fall in that episode. In that episode, Aria was pissed off at Ezra. I completely get where Spencer is coming from when she's telling Aria, why would you, want to be with him again? I completely understand Spencer's logic there, because it's kind of like, why would Aria trust Ezra again when something like what happened last season happens? Why would she trust him again? So, Spencer tells her she shouldn't be with him, and I understand that, definitely. So Allie then joins them at the lunch table, and she receives a text from A, and there's this video message showing her dead mom being covered with dirt in the ground, and afterwards a message pops up, and it says, I saw your mom just like I watched her bury you, and it's A. The liars all watch the video on Allie's phone in shock, and then it says, content deleted, and it's gone. So somehow A managed to delete the message on her phone after she read it. So that's really weird. Yeah, definitely that's very, very big. So Allie, Spencer, Aria, Emily, and Hanna head home, and Spencer starts crying because she accused her dad of murder, and she knows he didn't do it because her friends aren't convinced, because, she doesn't think he would do something like that, and But they're not buying it. They're pretty convinced of that, and they remind her it doesn't rule out her sister Melissa, which they do make sense, because we don't know about Melissa. So Spencer then heads to Radley, and she sees her friend Eddie, one of the employees there, and Spencer begs Eddie for information about Bethany Young, but Eddie informs her that he can't share info with her, the cops, or the reporters. So yeah, so unfortunately she didn't get any information that she wanted. So yeah, that was definitely very interesting. So yeah, that was definitely, very interesting. I definitely thought that was very interesting. Now, I forgot to say, also, Aria's very worried that A is going to expose her to the police for killing Shauna, because now they know that Shauna wasn't A, but they don't know if that's possible. Well, we don't really know. So Travis then, but like I was saying, basically, what ends up happening is next, what happens next? Okay. Travis then comes to Hannah's house after she forgets about their date, and she apologizes for her actions, and he seems upset, and, I honestly don't blame the guy. I mean, she has been with Caleb this entire time, and I kind of feel like here's what's gonna happen. They've been setting up Hannah and Travis all this time, and now they want us, Caleb wants nothing to do with her, Travis wants nothing to do with her, and, we'll have to see, what ends up happening there, but it seems like things aren't going well with Hannah. Now, Allie is planning to leave Rosewood. If you remember, Kenneth had told her before that he wanted her to leave, and she wants to leave. And Hannah says that she'll help her try and escape A's wrath. If she stays at her home, everything will be fine. But Allie really wants to leave. So then we get a very good scene. I was very surprised that Aria was actually smart, because she's usually not at all. So I was very surprised that she was actually smart here. So Aria tells Ezra that they can't go back to the way things were because of all his past lies. Basically, she says, look, I know that, you know how they had sex last week? She says, look, I know you really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it too, but we can't pretend like what happened never happened. And she basically tells him that they're not going back to the way things were. They can never go back to the way things were, because of all his past lies. And I thought that was definitely very interesting, and, one of the things that I really enjoyed there, definitely was how smart Aria was. Aria's usually, I'm not saying that she's dumb. Aria's not dumb. She's just sometimes, not, doesn't think. Sometimes she doesn't think, and she does what she wants most of the time. However, this time, she did what was best for her, and honestly, I was very happy at the maturity in Aria here. Aria set him down and basically said, look, I know, you want this to work, but we both know it's not going to. And before Ezra can really say anything, there's a knock at the door, and it's the police officer, and, he is heading the investigation that Aria holds, and police officer tells Ezra that Shauna was found dead at a theater that his family owned, and that when Shauna was dead, there was gun residue found in her sweatshirt, the same shirt she was wearing the night before when she shot Ezra in New York. So, this means that Shauna was pretty much the one that shot Ezra. If she was A, then, she could have been A, but now there's another A, so we really don't know. So then Emily asks Paige to give her the names of the people, who are conspiring against Allie with Mona, because Emily knows that Paige detests Allie and knows that Mona talked to Paige and is basically working with Mona. She doesn't know that Paige, she knows that Paige is against Allie, and she knows Mona's against Allie, so Emily kind of thinks, hey, if Paige is against Allie, Mona's against Allie, maybe Mona said something to Paige, and basically Paige doesn't tell her anything. So is Paige possibly working with Mona, and we don't know? I mean, because Paige tells her that Allie's life is in danger, and we don't know. Is Paige possibly working with Mona? I don't know. We'll have to see what happens there, but yeah, that was definitely very, very big. So Spencer arranges for her mom and dad to meet, and Mrs. Hastings is not happy about it at all. She does not want it to happen, and that's obviously not good. So Allie then makes her escape plans, and Hannah helps her pack and offers to drive her to the train station, which I thought was sweet. And Ezra receives a drawing at his front door, and the drawing is of Mrs. De Laurentiis, and it's signed by Bethany. Basically, camera footage reveals Eddie from Radley left the photo at his door. So, that was definitely a very big thing. Now, Emily gets upset when she finds out that Allie was planning to leave, and Allie heads home to see her father. So yeah, Emily gets upset when she finds out, because Allie and Emily, as we know, kind of have this newfound connection now that we didn't know. They're kind of together now. I don't know if they're together, but all we know is that they have some sort of connection now, and that we know that they at least have feelings for each other. We know that. So Emily's kind of upset when Allie says that she's gonna leave. She doesn't want her really to leave, and yeah, so she really doesn't want her to leave. And so yeah, that was definitely very sad to watch. Honestly, it really was sad, and yeah, that was definitely sad. Now we get we get probably the biggest scene after this, because we get the biggest scene after this because Allie heads home and she looks for Kenneth and he's not there, and she talks to him on the phone and plans to leave. However, she's not alone in her house. She heads to her room to get a few things, including money and fake IDs, because she's planning to leave. She returns downstairs to her dark house, and standing behind her, and A is standing behind her, hits her head. Allie and A struggle as Allie is being choked to death. But luckily Emily comes in and fights off A, and I was like, please do not kill off Allie. I thought they were literally going to kill her off there. And if they would, I would be ranting right now, but I'm not, because that was awesome. This was awesome. Emily comes in and fights off A, who escapes, and Emily tells Allie that she can't leave after the attack. And basically, that was definitely probably the biggest scene in the episode, definitely. The biggest scene in the episode was definitely that scene. I don't care what you guys say, that was the biggest scene in the episode. It really, really was. So Hanna then visits Caleb and tells him that she wants Allie gone, as she never liked who she was when she was around her. And I can kind of see why Hanna wants Allie gone, because ever since Allie's come back, she's kind of replacing Hanna, because Hanna used to be blonde. Hanna had to change her appearance because of her. And I think Hanna's kind of blaming Allie for the problems that she's having. But the thing is, Hanna did that to herself. Hanna decided to get herself drunk last week. Hanna decided to not go on the date with Travis. This was not Allie's decision, and she really can't blame Allie for it. So, I mean, Hanna has no reason to blame Allie, really, in my opinion. I don't think she does. It's just my opinion. I don't think she does, really. So Allie then gets a text from A, and basically, because Allie's talking to all of them about what happened and everything, and Allie says, well, how do we know that was A? And basically, Allie says, well, how do we know that was A? I mean, would A really want to do this to me, really? Would A really try to do something like that? And they're telling her, oh, no, it is A. And I'm pretty sure it's A as well. I do agree that it is probably A, because the question, who else would it be? It has to be A. Who else would it be? So she stays at, basically what ends up happening is, basically, she gets a text from A after that, telling her that if she leaves Rosewood, she's gonna be killed, and she stays at Emily's house because she's scared, and, she's very scared because of this. She does not know what to do, because she's really scared of what just happened, and Emily stays up all night to make sure she's safe, and honestly, I give props to Emily for that, really, I do. I like this newfound Emily and Allie relationship. Honestly, I do ship Emerson. I'm gonna say it right now, I do ship Emerson. They have a lot more chemistry than Emily and Paige. I never really liked Paige. I do like Allie, though. I like them together. I kind of like the way that, I like that Emily does kind of trust her now. I definitely do like that. I know it's taken Emily some time to trust Allie, but now she kind of does trust her, so I think that's a good thing. And then we get probably a really good scene, because Spencer finds out that she and her mom are moving back home, and that Mr. Hastings is moving out. And Spencer asks her mom to give her dad another chance, but she says she's already given her too many chances. She's already given her too many chances after Years of Lies. So that definitely was very, very big, because I think that's honestly for the best. Mrs. Hastings was freaking out after this. Mrs. Hastings was freaking out about it, and it's fine that, honestly, this is happening, because if she was freaking out about it, then everything is gonna be okay, pretty much. Plus, Emily suspects, Emily and Hanna suspect that Melissa and her, her father are A. They suspect it, so they haven't told Spencer. They said, are you gonna tell Spencer? And they didn't tell Spencer, so, yeah. And then we get a very sad scene, because Travis is not happy about Hannah's lack of attention. He wonders if Caleb is to blame, and Travis walks away from Hanna, and honestly, she did that to herself, because If she wouldn't have gone with Caleb over Travis, Travis would not be feeling this way. Travis would, not feel this way right now. He would not be in a bad mood like he is, and honestly, Hanna did it to herself. So Aria then goes to Radley in hopes of being a volunteer and getting information because she wants to try to get information on what's going on. And Emily and Allie then stop by Allie's house to try to get a few things because, she does want to leave. But then the police officer comes to ask her some questions about Shauna and wants her and her dad to come to the police station, trying to figure out what's going on. And Allie gets a text from A saying, time for the cage bird to sing. Basically, what we found out with Allie was that A actually wants her to stay put, to not leave. Basically, she said, you leave, I'll kill you. That's definitely, I talked about, I know I just, already talked about, but it definitely is very interesting to see what happens there. And then the very end of the episode, we see, A put a veil over, I'm gonna say her, because I'm assuming it's Mona, her head, and then we see, Shauna's grave, Bethany Young's grave. That was really creepy in the end. So, obviously, something is going on here, and I'm pretty sure that is Mona. It makes perfect sense. This was the first episode of Season 5 where we did not see Mona, and of course, Mona talked to Sydney and Jenna about, their plan to make Allie leave. However, if they didn't wanted Allie to leave, then why the hell are they telling her to stay put? I don't know what they're trying to do. I don't know if this is still their plan. That theory might be not true because of that simple thing right there, because the simple fact that they don't want Allie to leave, but I personally don't know. We'll have to see what's going on there. I personally have no idea what's going on there. I guess we'll just have to see, because personally, I really don't know what's going on. I really don't. But this episode was amazing. I really did enjoy this episode. Quite a few things I do want to talk about, though. Now, first of all, Aria, I thought, definitely did the right thing with Ezra. I do think she did the right thing there. Now, definitely, do you think that, A is going to come after Aria? We did see a scene in the last episode where A is going to come after Aria. Is A going to, come after Aria for killing Shauna? What do you think is going to happen there? Spencer and her parents, do you think they made the right decision? I'm pretty sure they did. Do you like this new chemistry between Emily and Allison? I like the chemistry between Emily and Allie. I like them a lot. I like Emerson. I think they're cute together. I do like them together. I might be the only one, but I like them together. I do. I think they're good together, and I like them. I definitely do think they're good together, personally. I think they're good. Also, Hanna. What do you think is going to happen with Hanna? Personally, Caleb, it looks like Caleb is going to confront Allie next week. I'm pretty sure Caleb knows Allie somewhere, because Caleb would not confront Allie if he didn't know her from somewhere. I don't know what that's about, but he's going to confront Allie about something. I don't know what it's about, but we're going to have to see what that's about, definitely. As far as who is as I said, I'm pretty sure it's one of these three people. Mona, Jenna, Cindy. It's pretty simple that it's one of those three people, because they would not want Allie to, to basically, but why would they want Allie to stay put? I don't understand that whole part. We'll have to see what's going on there, but I really don't understand what's going on there. Is Melissa or Spencer's dad connected to Bethany Young, and somehow did they kill Bethany Young? What's going on there? Are we going to find out more about Bethany Young? I feel like we're going to meet her parents or something, because if they want to find out more about Bethany Young, they have to, what they should do is find her parents, try to connect them to her parents, because, her parents would know the most about their daughter, obviously, so, maybe they'll find out some things about Bethany Young. I don't know. We'll have to see what's going on there. I think that's pretty much all I really need to talk about. Oh, also, is something going on with Paige? I feel like Paige, there's something going on with her, because all we know is that there was, this weird rat that popped out of her locker. That was really creepy, but I don't know what that was about. And, we'll have to see what happens in the next episode, but overall, I thought this episode was solid. It was not, my favorite episode of the season. It really reminded me of the episode Cover For Me. If you guys remember last season, there was an episode called Cover For Me after Free Fall. Basically, Free Fall was an amazing episode, and Cover For Me was the episode after it. This was pretty much this episode, except this episode I thought was better than that episode Cover For Me. Even though that episode was very good, I thought this episode was better than that, because it's kind of like the same style, in the sense that this episode's in the same style, in the sense that, that episode focused more on, the aftermath of Ezra possibly being A. This episode focused on the aftermath of A being back, so it's definitely going to be interesting to see what happens in the next few episodes. And honestly, I was fine this episode wasn't amazing. I was fine with that. I mean, this episode was definitely very good. It wasn't my favorite episode of the season. It wasn't my second favorite. My second favorite episode of the season is probably still the fourth episode. I thought the fourth episode was a little bit better. Last week's episode was so much better than this episode. I'm trying to figure out what's going on with Mona there. I really think Aria's theory is true, that Mona is A. I don't know, we'll have to see what's going on there. What do you guys think? Who do you think A is? I personally, I really don't know. We'll have to see what's going on there. But, that's it for my review. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you guys in my next video, which will be my review for Finding Carter. So I'll see you guys for that. Okay, bye. One last really quick thing, guys. There was one part in the episode I forgot to say where Hanna did ask Caleb why he left, why he didn't leave Rosewood. What happened in Ravenswood, and he didn't tell her. So I don't know what happened. We don't know what happened. We're gonna have to see. As I said, there's gonna be an episode where they show, they're gonna conclude the Ravenswood storyline, but we'll have to see what happens there. But yeah, so I just want to say that one last little thing. But I'll see you guys in my next video. Okay, bye.